Hey, I'm Lulu Geza, and I'm the program coordinator in LGBTQ Resources. And I have the great honor of introducing our next speaker. I'm beyond proud of the growth I have seen in this young man and drag queen. I don't know if that's funny, but okay. Whether we're talking about the volume of his laugh, you can hear him laughing in LGBTQ Resources when you're in zone training a floor up in Sub 1, or the amount of time he is in the office. Graham has always had a huge presence. I first got to know Graham a couple years ago when I was a graduate assistant, and he was starting his drag career at Mason. In no time, Heroine, for those of you who haven't been to a drag show in the last 3 years, Heroine is Graham's drag persona, was running the Mason drag show game, coordinating the all-student performers and logistics for the fall amateur show, and a majority of the student and professional performers and logistics for the spring Pride Week drag show. This year's Pride Week drag show was a little bit different from the rest because Graham actually got to be paid for some of the work he was doing. And it was good work. In mid-March, Graham came on to the LGBTQ Resources staff as a social media assistant for 2 reasons. In part because we needed a reliable student worker for the office. We had 2 great GAs, but both were 10 hours, so had to fill in the gaps. But mostly because Graham was always in the office, willing to do any task that I asked him. It seemed like a good idea to reward Graham for the great work he had been doing as a volunteer, and I regret nothing. Just one example, he set up for and attended the last 3 Lavender graduations. He wasn't graduating then, but don't worry, we did not let him help this year. Anyway, I could go on and on with more great things about Graham, but it's his turn to talk, and since he hasn't let me read any of his speech, I cannot wait any longer. So, thank you for being a friend. I give you Graham Ferguson.
I'm going to move this up a little because I'm a little bit taller than everyone else. So when Lulu first approached me about doing a speech tonight, I was like, oh, of course, totally, anything for Lulu. And also Lulu's already started to make me cry, so, which, if you know me, doesn't happen. I said, of course, anything for Lulu, so I started to write this speech. I wrote it, I rewrote it, I edited it, I sent it to my friend Leanne, who's in a different country, and we Google Doc edited it together, and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So it turned into some bullet points. And I'm just gonna kind of talk through these bullet points a little. So when I started Mason back in 2012, I didn't come for the normal reasons that a student comes to college. I was from a small town. I wasn't in a great situation. And for me, the only answer seemed, oh, go to college. So I did. I applied to 3 places, which was here, James Madison, Old Dominion. Old Dominion wasn't a fan of, so I was like, not gonna go there. James Madison had far too many white people. I like that that's claps. It's just, there was too many. It's too many. I need variety in my life. So I picked here. Here was an all-around winner. It was not close to home. I'd been here before. I did like forensics in high school, so I was pretty familiar with the campus. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to Mason. It's fantastic. It's the most expensive. I don't care. And so when I came here, I wasn't sure what I wanted to major in. So I came in undeclared, and I signed up for the Major in Career Explorers LLC, which is a living learning community. So basically, I lived on the floor with 22 other people, or 21 other people, who also had no idea what they wanted to do. So we're all like sitting together like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. So it was a great experience. But through like the course and like talking with the professor, because I like to talk a lot and I'm super social, they were like, you should go into communication. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But what also led me there was when people would say, if you could do anything you ever wanted to do in your life, what would it be? And I was like, I want my own talk show, which is probably something not a lot of people know about me. But I'm really into morning talk. Like when Regis Philbin left his job, I was like, I want that. I know I'm super underqualified, but I want that. I even like tried to figure out how to apply for it. I failed. It's fine. So through that, like, I wanted to do that because it was like, I enjoy talking to people. I love sitting down, having a conversation. I like the idea of giving away tons of money to people who really deserve it. And I also really wanted to know why like Hoda Lee and Kathy Lee, like, they drink so much wine at 10 a.m. And I really wanted to understand that. And now at 23, I totally understand that. But school was something that never really came super easy to me. Again, because I didn't really come for the best reasons. So my first semester, it was difficult. Not because the subject matter was something difficult, because I didn't have the motivation to do it. And then halfway through the semester, I got news that my dad passed away. And then that was also super hard. So a combination of those things really made my first semester really difficult. But with my 21 other people who had nothing going on in their lives, and through the office, it definitely made things a lot better. And it really made me realize that this is where I was supposed to be. Because if it hadn't been for all these people, I have no idea what would have happened. So even though all these bad things were happening, I started doing drag. And drag was kind of that bright spot in my life that like gave me happiness, it gave me joy, it gave me somewhat of a purpose. And I was trying to think of a name, and I was like, I want a name that relates to me and who I am, but also like super cool. So I'm like thinking of things, and I was like, no, I don't like this, I don't like that. This is a funny catchphrase, but how far is that gonna get me? And then I was listening to Kung Fu Fighting, not the original version, but the CeeLo Green version from Kung Fu Panda. And in the song, it goes, sometimes you have to go and be your own hero. And I was like, that's it. So I just made it the female equivalent, and I became heroine. And that took me so many places. Being able to do drag and the experiences that I've had, I wouldn't change for the world. Not 1 second. It has probably been the best thing that I've done since being here. It taught me a lot about myself, and I can't put into words how much being heroine means to me, and how much, it's just a lot. I have a lot of feelings about it. So while I may have come to Mason for the wrong reasons, I knew it was coming here was right for me. I was meant to come here. I was meant to meet all the people that I have through the years, through the hard times, through the good times. A lot of people have been with me, and I can't express how much that means. You all inspire me to be the best version of myself. And I know that this is only the beginning of my journey, because I still have a whole world out there that's been yet to discover. Before I finish, I want to say some thank yous. The first one being Rick Holler. Rick was here for 15 years. There was a lot of stuff in that office. Some things that we had to go through. was one of the original copies of the Declaration of Independence, a blueprint for Noah's Ark, and the actual stone tablets that Moses had with him. Somebody was like, make a joke about Rick. I was like, I got you, don't worry. So Rick, I want to thank you not just for everything you've done for me, but for the Mesa community as a whole, and it is a retirement well deserved. I also want to thank Amina. Amina was the program coordinator for 3 years, something like that. We sat together a lot in our corner. We had a lot of stories, a lot of jokes. Thank you for telling me how a cigar works. That is an inside joke. But she knows what it means. I want to thank Jaina and Rabia, not just for being great coworkers, but for being great friends. Ashkan, I want to thank you for being more than just my friend, for being more than just my family, but being one of my people. You helped me find my tribe. Of course, last but not least, I want to thank Lulu, because Lulu is dead. Lulu's done so much for me this semester, and I can't put into words how much you mean to me, and that you'll always have a special place in my heart, and I love you so much. Okay, that's all before I start actually crying, so thank you.